Hey guys, it is Techstar here. I know it's probably a little weird hearing me and not PS360, and I do really wish that I was coming over here under different circumstances. I'm here today along with some of PS360's closest friends to inform you guys that unfortunately, in the early morning of June 10th, PS3 did unfortunately pass away. I know it's been about a week now, but we just, kind of needed some time to process this and figure out what was the best and most respectful way to let you all know. As some of you guys know, he was having some complications last year as well, but with respect to his family, I'm not really going to go into detail on everything. We felt like it was only right that, of course, his subscribers should know, but we don't want to make this video a sad video, of course. We want to celebrate the man that he was and the friend that he was to all of us as well. PS3 was one of the pillars of the anime community and has been since before I ever even met him 8 years ago. Everyone that you're about to hear from today has been impacted in some way by him, and we want to celebrate that and cherish the memories that he gave all of us. We were a really tight-knit group, and he was kind of like the OG to all of us. And like I said earlier, I'm here with some of his closest friends, so I do want to go ahead and pass it off to them and let everyone here say what they have to say in honor of our friend PS3.
This is Anime Analyst. I'm a YouTuber, also known as Donnie. I was one of PS360HD2's friends, as we called him online. This guy was a pillar in our community. I even have memories of watching his videos and being inspired by his videos even before I was a YouTuber. And then, flash forward, I become a YouTuber and I become friends with the man. And always fun anytime we're in a call. Great sense of humor. I'm one of the younger ones in the group that we have, so he always had life advice and just different perspectives on things going on in the world. And I just felt like bro was really a light in the community and a light to those around that were impacted and affected by him. I'm pretty sure that all around people have very fond memories of how this dude kind of just impacted them, and just a great spirit. You could tell he's a great guy. Always uplifting people, always trying to think about how we can be better versions of ourselves. I just have a lot of great memories having fun playing the game with this guy, whether it be just just talking on the chat, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, playing Naruto. This dude was really competitive in nature, and so am I. So I always had someone, we had someone to test our skills against, and I just have a lot of really cool memories in terms of sharing some of the different anime gaming experiences with my guys. So I just want everybody to celebrate him and the legacy he's leaving behind, and just know that this dude was one of the OGs, one of the original kind of Naruto people and anime people that really cemented how possible this YouTube stuff is for people looking to be in this anime lane. So forever grateful, appreciative of the memories, and so rest in peace to my guy, man.
Yo, what's good? My name is Afro. I knew PS3 the same way a lot of us have, and that was through Naruto Storm. Before, when I was just a viewer watching, it was always like a cool thought to me, like, is PS360 real? Because if you guys know, he would always post news in a very robotic, crazy, never missing a day fashion. He was on top of it. Bro never missed a day. When I got to meet him and be able to call him a friend and know him for the years and seeing his process, how he does it, I will never forget it, bro. Bro is literally living in the US, having his body wired to waking up at Japanese times for things that are dropping out that has no warning anywhere else, but he just knew because he's been doing it for so long. Oh, this is coming out when I gotta wake up here, boom, boom, boom. Bro, it's literally, to this day, some of the most inspiring work ethic that I've seen, and I incorporate in my life today. PS3 is a legend in regards to just how much he puts down for his family, just how much he pulls up for his friends too. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, in our group, we've had a lot of arcs as in we had good moments, bad moments, whichever the case, and PS3 was always consistent, just being there and kind of being the voice of reason, in a sense, like the referee, you know what I'm saying, the judge. But some of you guys won't get that reference, but that's my goat, bro. It does hurt a lot to be able to talk about him in this way, but I do think it's very important to take away one thing that This is a man that whatever he wanted and needed in life, he did what needed to be done to make it happen. And I think we all need a little bit of that in our life. And I hope that you can take just my message of my memory of how he's the GOAT, and you can help yourself be the GOAT in the process. I love you, bro. Thank you for everything.
I remember coming up in 2017. I was just kind of starting to just get a little bit of kind of like my name out there, you know, recording hard, like just, you know, trying to grow and stuff like that. And I remember you looking out for me, like kind of introducing me to people, introducing me to circles, giving me advice, like introducing me to people that really helped me. Like without PS360, man, like I am not here. Everything that I've accomplished, like PS3 just had a huge guiding hand. I mean, it's tough. It's just like when you have someone who had such a significant role in your life, and I mean, they just pass on. It's tough. It's tough. I know we're gonna see PS3 as a huge LeBron fan, man. Dan, he's gonna miss, you know, LeBron going to the Hall of Fame, stuff like that. It's gonna be crazy. Like, you know, opinions are gonna turn. They're gonna become more positive. Like, I wish PS3 would have been there to see that, man. I know he would have loved that. PS360, I'm gonna miss you, man. And it's just like I could not have done the things I've done in life without PS360, man. It's just that simple. Like, he did so much for me, and I'm gonna miss him.
I don't really know where to start other than saying that PS3 was one of my best friends in the world, and I miss him. He's been here for me since pretty much right around the time I began YouTube forever ago. I've known him for nearly 2 decades at this point, and I met him completely by accident. Like, we weren't supposed to be friends. We weren't supposed to meet each other, right? Like, I started doing this, and he was just a voice on someone else's Skype in the background, and I would joke to him, and eventually we became friends. And even then, when we were friends, it was really competitive sometimes. We didn't always see eye to eye, but he was always someone I look up to, someone I really respect in this space, and someone who always did the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a really, really good guy. And this is somebody that I talk to almost every single day for the last 9 years, right? This is one of my closest friends. But outside of YouTube, when he wasn't helping me with anything YouTube related, or we weren't, you know, we're constantly watching movies. People don't really know like the level of homies that, you know, some people in the community are, right? Like, you know, we watch full TV shows, full movies. We've been there for each other for like pretty much anything you can think of, any sort of situation. And PS3 was always one of the most reasonable voices. And like, even when you thought he would lose his cool, or you would thought like he wouldn't react in the right way to a situation, he was always, he knew what to do. He carried himself really well. He carried himself really cool. And no matter how bad a situation got, or like how mad I got at somebody or anything, even if I was completely justified, he always tried to see like the good in people and tell you, you know, this beef isn't worth it. And, you know, these issues that you have, they're not worth it. He was that kind of guy. Like, he was a peacemaker, and he was just a really good person. This is a guy that got started in this community, not because he was trying to make a bunch of money or do anything like that. He literally just wanted to post clips and have one place to share all the things that he liked, right? All the things that he enjoyed. He loved Naruto. He wasn't the biggest fan of One Piece. I think a lot of people know that, right? Like, I'm gonna miss his One Piece takes. I'm gonna miss a lot about the homie. It feels different now that he's not around, but you know, everyone's together. We're trying to do the best we can to honor the homie's legacy. And yeah, man, shout out to PS360. That's one of the best homies I've ever had in my entire life, man. In a lot of ways, he definitely was one of my biggest mentors ever in this space. And I just want to send love to his family, his fans. I mean, he loved you guys so much. The fans too, like, he loved y'all so much. So this is sad. This is a sad time, but I want to celebrate the homie, and that's what I think I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna try to celebrate the homie as much as possible, because that was my guy. So I want to say thank you to PS3 for basically being the father of the chat. That's more or less what he was, always keeping us on movie nights and everything, keeping us watching horror movies. I miss my dog, I miss my guy, and I know you're comfy in a better place. Love.
Okay, all right, let's do this. Okay, all right. You know when someone passes away and you hear a lot of what they've done in the past, whether good or bad, and it makes you question and think about that person in a different light versus what you already created of them in your head. Thankfully, that's not the case here, and my dog was exactly who everybody that knew him before me said he was, and more. Now, I've only known him for a couple of years compared to the rest of the people in this video, but I gotta say, in that short amount of time that I shared with PS, he quickly became somebody that I consider a really close friend of mine. Our love for music is actually where we really connected, and we would stay up all night arguing over who was the better rapper from X era, the Kendrick and Drake beef, and whatever topic would come up in between. And there would be times where the group would reminisce over the days where I wasn't around, and a few things I picked up from those conversations of the past were, one, he was essentially one of the founding fathers of the entire anime gaming space, and two, not only was he one of the founding fathers, but he was and is a well-respected pillar in this community whose content has reached millions of people for 15 years, whether it was keeping up to date with whatever new anime game was coming out, playthroughs of those games, compilations of all the things that was inside of those games. And this is back when there weren't a lot of those type of channels. So my boy was putting in that work back in 2010, my G, that's crazy. And last but not least, most definitely not least, number 3, he was a well-respected friend with ethics and values, somebody that would tell you when you were messed up for doing something or going too far, or somebody that was always there to big you up on a come up, whether it was financially or on a video. And even now that he's gone, I'm still learning so much more about him from just little small interactions with him and his friends. And as somebody who's only known him for about 2 to 3 years now, I can confirm any and all things everybody say in this video were 100% true. He was just a great time to be around, bro. And I'm gonna miss you, dog. Shit, we're gonna miss you. These Discord calls are gonna be very, very empty without your voice, without you coming in with the fan in the background. It's, man, rest in peace, brother. I hope you sleep well, and I'll see you later.
Hey, this is Mystic Watch. I don't upload much these days, or honestly these last few years, but when I started uploading 8 years ago, PS360HD2 was one of the first people I met. I mean, PS3 was one of the guys I would just watch as a kid growing up. I was in high school 15 years ago watching his Storm content, and just thinking about that now, this guy has been grinding for 15 years back then, and pretty much grinding even harder to this last day. He's one of the father figures to this whole genre on YouTube, and definitely to our whole friend group. PS3 is always the guy you can trust. This guy never has beef with anyone. He's always just trying to make sure everyone's cool with each other. He's keeping the peace, but at the same time, you love being around him. He was such a chill dude, such a funny guy. And he'd just be there sitting in Discord with us, watching movies, watching TV shows, doing whatever. And he was just editing away on the next video. I mean, I have so many streams of us trying to do these damn Naruto blazing raids, grinding characters, or us playing Fortnite together when it first came out. And then offline, we'd have hour-long debates about random power scaling scenarios. Don't get me started on Boruto versus Killua. And even if we got heated in the moment, you knew there was nothing but love coming from this guy. The PS3 helped me get my channel going all those years ago, and I still can't pay him back for everything he's done for me at this point. He's helped me with YouTube, he's helped me with finances, with family, with career advice. It's to the point where he's just a big brother. So I hope everyone can appreciate and show love to all the work that he's put out there, and just know that behind the screen you guys have been watching was one of the most genuine dudes out there. I mean, we'll miss you, man, and I hope you rest well.
Hey everybody, my name is Berle, and as you guys know, I'm a YouTuber who has known PS360 for a while. I mean, over 10 years at this point. And the first time I met him, I actually met him through a giveaway he did for a One Piece game on the PlayStation Vita, and I won. And then after that, I had an argument with him on Twitter over something completely different. And then we ended up being friends, right? So it's so odd to know, when you look back at it, it's so odd to see that, your closest friends are sometimes just people you dislike in the moment. You know what I mean? And me and PS360 didn't even know each other, but we had an argument over something really dumb. And I'm glad we did, because that kind of sparked the whole thing with us being friends. And obviously, a lot of people are gonna look at PS360 as the YouTuber. I get it. But just think about this, man. He was a person who was loved, who loved a lot of people, who cared for a lot of people. And I want people to also understand that, you know, try to look at it from the perspective of, you know, a family member. You know, this guy wasn't just PS360 the YouTuber. To us, you know, he was a brother, he was a friend. And I think one of the biggest thing I'm gonna miss about him is his debates, man. This dude would make anything a debate if you disagree with him hard enough. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that no one in our friend group has that he had. And it's one of those things that I'm gonna be looking fondly back on, because I had a few debates with him myself. But yeah, you know, he obviously inspired people like myself to do videos, and then we became friends, and he was always pushing the group to do cool things together, you know, and I'm glad he did, because there's a lot of people here that are friends of mine that I consider brothers just like him, that I wouldn't have met if it wasn't for him, you know. So I'm very grateful, honestly. Rest easy, man. I love you, bro.
You know, truth be told, like, I really don't even know where to begin, because I want to get on here and say that, you know, PS3, he was like an OG in the game, and like, you know, he's a legend and all that, and all that is true, but I really feel like you don't even begin to tell the full story and, you know, really encapsulate who he really was, because PS3 was really like one of the founding fathers of this YouTube shit, you know what I'm saying? Been in the game way longer than most, definitely way longer than I have. And I really grew up watching, bro, you know what I mean? Because I remember way back, like in the Storm 2 era, watching videos on his channel before I managed to get the game for myself. And then, you know, leading into Storm 3, Storm Generation, Storm Revolution, and trying to find like all the latest news, information, updates, gameplay, clips, you know, trying to figure out who was on the roster. Like I remember, you know, speculating and watching him speculate about who was going to be on the roster, and, you know, then finding out like certain games, oh, this game not going to have support only characters. Every character going to be playable. So we thinking certain characters is going to be, you know what I'm saying, in the next game. And it turns out that they're not in the game at all. You know what I mean? Like I remember all of that, man. And so it's really crazy to think, because little did I know that, you know, one day I would have the opportunity to actually like meet and befriend him. And I didn't know him nearly as long as some of the other homies in the friend group, because I'm still relatively new compared to some of them, you know what I mean? But, you know, it was always love whenever I did speak to him. You know, he would tell me that he see me doing my thing and see me on my grind, especially when I was on my DBFZ come up, and, you know, vice versa. I would tell him, you know, how I used to watch his content like growing up, and it was cool meeting him and everything like that, and, you know, seeing him staying on top of things. And honestly, like, his work ethic was out of this world. Like, if you want to talk about, you know, having like a Mamba mentality, you know what I'm saying, like Kobe, like he was really the Kobe of this YouTube shit, because, you know, his work ethic, like his hustle, it was unlike like most people that I've seen, you know what I'm saying? So it's something I'm definitely never gonna forget. He was always, you know, trying to inspire everybody, motivate everybody, making sure all the homies was eating, making sure everybody was on their A game, working hard, hustling hard, everybody eat, you feel me? It always had like these ideas, and, you know, I always had ideas for content, even if it wasn't for his own channel. And like, we got to do this, we got to do that, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make sure that everybody was as successful as they could possibly be. And that's just something I'm just never gonna forget, you know what I'm saying? It was really like a big brother to a lot of people, and you know, that showed every time I heard him speak. And I think that's evident by what everybody else is saying as well. I'm gonna definitely never forget him. And may you rest in peace.
Hey, it's me again, guys. So I just wanted to start from the beginning. I remember the exact day I first met PS3. It was so crazy. I was streaming Injustice 2, actually, like the first year I ever started YouTube, and he hopped in my chat. It was so crazy because I grew up watching him and a couple of our other friends. So to see him in my chat of like 10, 15 people, it was kind of shocking. Like, he came in there with the check mark and everything. It was pretty cool. We didn't grow a relationship from that day, but I ended up coming into contact with him again about a year later, maybe. And he pretty much introduced me to all of our friends. Bro was one of the funniest people I ever had the pleasure of meeting, and we talked almost every day. He was constantly looking to help people and put people on, and he was just one of the most generous people I ever met, man. He would always have the best ideas for everyone else too. It was funny, like some genius video idea or business venture. And my guy loved him some horror movies, man. We would watch movies in our Discord a lot together, and he'd always suggest a horror movie. It didn't matter what the mood was. Bro wanted to watch some slasher or something like that. It feels like I honestly think we've seen every decent horror movie from the 70s all the way up until now. The man, he was a hustler. He loved music and sports debates. There's a lot of memories that he gave us as a friend circle, and I'm gonna hold those close to the heart for the rest of my life in honor of my friend. that I knew for almost a decade. All right, so I hope everyone was able to take something away from this video, and we just really appreciate if everybody could remain respectful in the comments. Like I said earlier, this isn't supposed to be a sad video at all, even though, you know, I know emotions are running high and it's really hard not to be during something like this. We just really want to try and remember all of the good times that we had with our friend and share some of our own personal experiences that we had with him over the years. And maybe even some of you guys down below in the comments can leave some of your interactions that you had with him that you know, remember fondly as well. Something that we can all kind of come and look back on in remembrance of him and see just how impactful he was as a person and as a creator, and all the people that came to show him love and give him his flowers, and just everyone that he was able to touch over the course of his career. This is definitely one of the most difficult things that a person could do. So I want to personally thank everybody that came and spoke today and, you know, was able to be vulnerable with us. It is okay to cry. I know I've done my fair share over the past week. It is never easy saying goodbye to such a close friend, but from all of us, we love you and we miss you, bro. Rest in peace, PS360.